Hi to everyone and welcome back to another video episode on introduction to microeconomics. See, in the previous videos, we were in a discussion of n number of videos with the introduction of either microeconomics or consumer behavior and demand analysis, followed by production and cost analysis. Anyhow, we have covered the three concepts of micro. Then moreover, so today we'll discuss about the synopsis, the abstract of microeconomics, not more than 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and coming to the point, as we know that the branches of economics are classified into two. First one is called microeconomics, and next one is called macroeconomics. In the concept of study of microeconomics, when it comes to the introduction to microeconomics, it's far better to understand economics is different from economy as well as economics. Okay, so economics is all about after the scarcity definition, there is a study which deals with two major issues. One is called unlimited wants, and next one is called limited resources. So understanding of the gap between these two, it's all about the study of economics, which deals with the major functions of a country. Then that is called production, consumption, distribution, and exchange of goods and services. Then that's all about economics. When you wanted to try with a particular territory or a region, then that is economy, where the economic functions are performed, and these economies are classified on the basis of place, development, and system to different types. Now coming to the first one, on the basis of place or region, so we can classify under 5 heads. So first one is called rural economy, urban, regional, national, and international. And moreover, these are the types which are classified on the basis of geographical area. If you wanted to understand the point of only rural sector, then one has to study about the rural economy. If you want to see the urbanized sector in the country, then what is the contribution and the expenses related to it, then you have to go by the urban economy or regional wise, even the national as well as international. Then you go by on the basis of development, like human development index, okay, per capita income, and even followed by national income or GDP, GNP, NNP, or some of the developmental index. If you want to try out, they are generally classified into 3: underdeveloped economy, developing economy, and developed economy. For your syllabus is concerned, there is no existence of only developing and developed countries based on the standard of living, human development index, workforce index, a number of things will come. On that, we can classify the countries into these types. Now coming to the point, which is the most important part of the chapter, on the basis of system, what classified into 3 heads. First one is called centrally planned economy, then followed by market economy, then mixed economy. So listen carefully. When it comes to the system means the governing body. Is it played by the public or if it is played by the government? When it comes to the system or functioning effect of the country, then one must understand the economy even that can be classified on the basis of the existing system into 3 types. First one is called centrally planned economy. It's also called a socialistic economy, followed by market economy, capitalist economy, and then coming to the next one, mixed economy. But before leading to these, so one must understand the basic agenda of understanding. There is always a discussion in the economics that is called unlimited wants. Unlimited wants with the limited resources. And within this limited resources, we have to satisfy the unlimited wants. When it is not possible, then all the resources have a competing usages from one to another. When it comes to the usage of it, then each resource have a competition with the use of those resources. You can take an example of either electricity, either water, okay, you take coal. So when the price are increase or decrease, then the use of these resources will be so extended and competing level. Then at the point where the resources are limited and those limited resources have a competing usages. Then moreover, if you want to understand this thing, so one must understand the third definition of economics, then that is called scarcity definition, where the resources are so limited. After the first and second world war, where the resources are limited but wants are unlimited. And understanding how this problem of economic choice How does this problem of economic choice arises? Because of the gap between unlimited wants with the limited resources. Then that's the thing which deals with the understanding of basic problems of economy. Basic problems of economy, which is also called as central problems of economy, were classified into three. Okay, so first one you already know it, what to produce. Second one for then how to produce. Third one for whom to produce. Then moreover, those basic problems are quite common for all the countries, but finding a solution is different from one country to another country. Okay, now coming to the first problem of economy, then that is called what to produce. What to produce the problem which deals with what kind of goods, what kind of services are to be produced, and the percentage of quantity of it. So each country is not concerned with the production of a same good. Some country may be good at technology, some country may be good at natural resources, some countries may be abundant with the human resources. Okay, it depends upon the resource of the country, where the country has to decide what kind of goods are to be produced and how much the quantity of it. When it comes to the how to produce, then that is the second problem of an economy, basic fundamental problem of each country, where it which deals with the techniques of production. There are the two techniques are there. You already know the techniques. So first one is called labor intensive, second one is called capital intensive. Where the labor intensive states where the labor usage is more in the production activity than the machines. Capital intensive means where the robotics or machineries are used, where capital equipments are being used than the men. In the meantime, it's up to the choice of the country to decide which one gives the better and which one gives the second better result. So an understanding of it all depends upon the system of that country. Now coming to the third one, for whom to produce. That is after analyzing and finding a solution for what to produce and for how to produce and all. Then third one is about for whom to produce. Or we need to produce the different goods and services for the citizens of our country or citizens of some other country. Yes, we have to satisfy first our needs, our country needs. Then when you want to satisfy, then again it comes to the problem of distribution. Then that's the problem of distribution, which states that again how we need to distribute these different goods and services to the people of the country. Because when it comes to the people are classified in different income groups, like a top group and low income group. Many group of income group people will be there. Then to protect the safeguard of a poor section of the society, so one must go by fair price shops like ration shops. Then if you wanted to go by then other class of the society, then one has to go by open market operation, like nearby. You can go by any of the commercial area and all, where you can get directly the market prices. But the same goods you cannot get at the same price in the ration shops. Then that is called open market operation. Are we clear? Then, so if a question rises in your exam point, and the question will be, so explain about basic problems of economy. If it comes, then you have to explain each one in detail. You cannot mention only the simple points and all. Then you have to go by in detail of it. Okay, it depends upon the marks. It depends upon the section and the marks, the weightage of the question. So please take care of, if the question has been made for to mention or to state, then that is different from explain. Okay, and that's the thing you need to understand. So when it comes to the analysis of economics, then the analysis of economics were classified into two. So first one is called positive economics. Next one is called normative economics. Positive, normative. Positive is economics which studies the problem as it is by considering the basic facts and figures under given set of circumstances. But when it comes to the normative, positive only collects the data without any suggestions. But normative, it not only collects the data and even it tries to give the solutions as well as problems of the issue is considered. For example, there is a heavy so road accidents are occurring in our city. Then meantime there is a positive data where you can get from a medical department or police station or somewhere where the data one can collect without any suggestions if you wanted to collect under given set of circumstances, then that is called positive. Then if you wanted to try to reduce this accidents, if you want to try to reduce this number of deaths in road accidents and all, then how is the solutions you can suggest to the concerned department, like to increase the number of cops, to maintain the smooth flow of traffic, number of traffic signals, okay, the number of fines, policies. whatever you are going to suggest to reduce this accidents, then that's all comes under the normative economics. Are we clear? So first one is called positive, next one is called normative. Likewise, even the branches are there, micro and macro, that's the thing we have already discussed much. Now coming to the point, when the system wants to satisfy with the different solutions for the same problems of the country, then when it comes to the first one, centrally planned economy or socialistic economy, it's a dark kind of economy where resources of the country owned, managed and controlled by the government itself. It means when it comes to the centrally planned economy, okay, these kind of economy where the public or the government will prevails the major role than the private people, like China is concerned, okay, Vietnam is concerned, or North Korea is concerned, where there is a no existence or we can call it as a less existence of private people, where the resources of the country generally hold, managed, controlled by the government sector. Even the prices are set by them, okay, standard of living is moderate, and moreover even the level of existence of when to price to rise or fall, everything is managed by the public sector. Then that kind of an economy where you can call it as a centrally planned or a socialistic economy. So you go by the North Korea or Vietnam and all, even you cannot find the different goods. You don't have much choices because everything is decided by the government itself. Then that kind of an economy where we can call it as a centrally planned economy. But dead opposite of it, that is called market economy, which is also called as capitalistic economy, where the resources of the country owned, managed and controlled by the private people. So in these economies where the private participation is greater than the government intervention. It doesn't mean that in the market economy there is no place for government. Even though there is a place for a government, the intervention of the government is minimized compared to the private parties so intervention. In such case, like USA is concerned, UK is concerned, or Japan or Germany is concerned, even those countries are developed country, they all come under the market economy where prices are set by them. So even the standard of living is generally high, and moreover government intervention is less, and government has to look after only the managing the activity, but production and everything is done by the private parties so intervention. And these are the countries where we can find like USA, UK and all comes under the category of a market economy. But in reality we can say that you cannot find 100% purely socialistic economy, neither so completely 100% capitalistic country. So when the situation at present situation we can call it as, in reality all countries, all economies will come under the mixed economy where both public as well as the private sector will intervene in the functioning of the country. If you go by the production, consumption, distribution and exchange of goods and services, all these functions of the country not purely controlled by the government, not purely controlled by the private. In reality all countries will come under which economy? Mixed economy, like India. Okay, so best example we can take it as in India, Bharat. So where the things comes under the mixed economy. Then this leads half of the chapter an abstract. When it comes to the next way, how the government will understand the maximum result one can dig from the limited resources with the unlimited wants. For that one has to understand PPF. You all know that what the PPF stands for, production possibility front end. Then production possibility front end is a graphical representation of all possible combination of two goods, X good and Y good, which yields same maximum level of output. It means when the government has a limited resource to give the maximum result, then government will plan n number of plans with the n number of possibilities. Then among that which possibility gives the better results, then that will be front line. Then that is called production possibility front line. If you wanted to show cost with the graphical representation, then that is called production possibility curve. Okay. Then this is a brief, an abstract of introduction to microeconomics. Apart from this, if any of a topic is missed, so you can ask me from the description button. Even another topic is there, then there is like opportunity cost is there. Okay, so opportunity cost, where the producer wants to produce anything, then he has a number of options. When he has a number of options, when he selects the first one, the best one, he has to sacrifice the second best one. Then that the cost what is incurred on the second best one, then that the cost is called opportunity cost. Okay, and if there is any doubts on that, In this connection, you can please go through by my number. Thank you for watching.